First test, absolutely insane. Did you hear that sound? Half throttle. Full. Oh, shit. Okay, I just got back from a run, and on that run, I had a bit of a crazy idea. Back in the day, like I'm talking like 2015, you know, right when drone racing kind of started to become a little bit popular, it kind of blew everyone's mind when we went to 4-cell. And then there was a moment where a few people started trying 6-cell. Like, you know, you remember like the old like Matty Stunts videos where he's like, you know, sending a, you know, 5S equipment with 6-cell through the trees backwards. Like, all that stuff was insane, and that blew our minds. So I'm wondering, what's the next step? And I think I came up with an idea. What if we go to 12S? So we're taking it a step further even than we probably should. 12S is what I run on X-Class, and these are the ESCs that I use for X-Class. I won these at International Open last year, 2018. And they're an insane power unit. Like, they can deliver 12S voltage for these giant motors, and they do an amazing job. But I think they're going to be, in addition, perfect for running 12S on a mini quad. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to run like 2 parallel 6S packs into the like power unit, and then I'm going to just pull a lower voltage amount either from those packs or maybe like a separate smaller pack. I'm not totally sure because I don't have a way of regulating power down, and I don't want to tear out this PDB from this build because I still want this build to be the way it is. So what I'm thinking is that I can make a 5-inch or 6-inch 12S mini quad using these APD ESCs, and we're gonna have an insane time. I've got these like prototype, never to market, Brother Hobby motors. They're pretty big, they're pretty beefy. You know, this is a 2306 motor here, and then this is the Brother Hobby motor. So there'll be a little bit of chooch to them. So I think that like a 6-inch or a 7-inch might actually work for this better. But yeah, so my goal will be to take these 12S capable ESCs, these like 900 kV monster motors, and some sort of, I'm thinking like 7-inch frame. I'm gonna kind of look through my little collection here to find out which one might be the best option for this. And that way I can have the ESCs outside of the prop wash because they're so big. There's no way, I want to mount them like this way on the frame. So like if this is the arm and this is the ESC, they would be like this, but I don't really have a way of doing that without like 3D printing something. But so what I'm thinking is if on a 7-inch frame, if I push it far into the inside and then solder the motors on so that these are outside of the prop wash so that they're not like blocking the airflow. Oh heck, I could even, no, not quite. So yeah, we'll play around. Who knows if this is even going to be a good idea or a bad idea, but it's going to be a fun experiment, that's for sure. Let's get to it. Okay, we've got the powertrain mostly installed. It's honestly looking pretty stinking good. Like, look at those things. It's got some meat to it, that's for sure. But you know what, I'm not complaining. I think it's going to be a pretty sweet little monster. I'm excited to get this thing out in the air. Just got to wire up the power to the PCB, or the PDB, and then do the flight controller, and we're going to be well on our way. I'm super stoked. Okay, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of what's going on inside this build now that we've got it all polished up. It's not pretty, but it's effective. So you got your VTX over here, little Unify Nano. I've got it running at the high output mode, which is like 50 milliwatts. And that's got its own little, the little antennas right here, the worst possible position, but you know what. Then I've got my Futaba receiver. The antennas run out to the bottom here, so they're just also not really great positioning, but it's okay. It's an experiment. It's fine. We got this PDB is down here, and I grounded the PDB to the flight controller. So even though the two systems, the flight controller system and the powertrain system, are running off of separate voltages, I do have them grounded together because the grounds on the speed controller are grounded to the flight controller, so I wanted to make that one continuous ground. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I did it anyway. Then each individual signal from the ESC goes into this cable here, which is connected into the flight controller, so that's how they get their signal. They're running ProShot 1000. That's what the APD ESCs run. And then, like, one of the things I love about these ESCs that not many others do, I think KISS does it maybe. There's a little reverse pad there, right there, that you can solder, and it switches the direction of the motor, which is pretty sweet. Not a lot of ESCs do that, and it's not really necessary, but I like it. It's a nice little feature. Then RunCam Racer 2, and yeah, so back here we've got one of these little 5-volt voltage regulators. Coming into the voltage regulator is a series tiny whoop battery connection. So in order to power the whole flight train, I basically plug in 2 of these little tiny whoop batteries to this plug, and then just kind of scoot the whole thing into the back here, and then it down converts to 5 volts for the flight controller, and then the 2 cables that are on here already are running all the way up to the camera to power the camera off of this incoming voltage. And then yeah, I've just got our cable here for the series connection, and that's about it. Pretty simple in terms of builds, just kind of complicated in terms of the fact that there's 2 separate series battery connections. So let's get it out and get it flying. Okay, we've got this beast built up now. Got a little bit of work left to do on it to just clean it up and make it really good. Like, for example, that's really lazy, I know. But technically it should fly now. I just armed it on the bench and everything was good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with just 6 cell before we try a 12S setup. Mostly because I'm just really nervous, but I just want to test it, make sure that it flies well. It's going to be really doggish on half voltage, but I just want to make sure that everything spins up and spins up properly. So let's give it a go. So my solution for the so I have 2 batteries, right? I've got the series set of tiny whoop batteries, and then I've got the flight pack. So this is going to be 12S eventually, which is a problem for most components. I don't have anything that will step down from 12S to 5 volt, so I have to run a separate thing just for the VTX and the flight controller and all that, which is fine. It's just kind of inconvenient. So that will power the flight controller and the VTX. Just gotta kind of wedge it in there. Not elegant, but you know what? I don't care. And then we can power up the powertrain. Now we should be good to fly. Just gonna start with some line of sight. Here we go. Looks like it didn't save the motor reverse thing, so I'm gonna go check on that really quick. I've twice now forgot the logic battery inside and had to go back and get it. It's so bad. I need a big regulator. If anybody knows of any, let me know. But yeah, it was definitely the motor reversed. I had forgotten that I flashed it, and when I re-flashed it, I forgot to turn that setting on again. That's not bad at all. So smooth. Those ESCs are so nice. All right, let's go FPV. You there. You can't be barking. Barking is no bueno. You're gonna get in trouble. Go inside. Go sit. Alright, so I think that was a pretty good first test of this thing. It flies. That's all I really cared about. So now I haven't actually plugged in 12S. I got to make a quick adapter really quick. Like I made a serial adapter for here. Now I've got to make a serial adapter for 2 6-cell batteries, which shouldn't be a problem. But that's the next step to making sure that this thing flies. So we'll go make that serial adapter, attempt to plug it in on 12S to see if it blows up or anything, and then take it for another spin. Here's my little serial connector. Got positive coming out that side and negative positive on this side, and then it jumps it on this so that the end voltage is 54 volts or whatever is close to 12S. So now I got to make sure I've got 2 6-cell batteries charged at the same voltage. We'll plug it in, test it with the multimeter, make sure that we got the polarity right and everything, which I think we did, but you never know. And then yeah, we're good to test plug it into the quad. Okay, one thing that I neglected to test before I built this quad is that the PDB that I chose, this one, it has a 12 volt and a 5 volt regulator on it, and I have no idea. I mean, I'm certain these can't handle that, but I don't know what's gonna happen. If it just like melts off or something and the PDB still works, that's fine. But if it like blows up, I might want to like partially disassemble the quad, plug it in, blow it up, and then assemble it back together, so that there is no incident. So we're gonna quick test and plug this into 12S to see if there's any major issues, but whew. So we've got 2 equally charged 6-cell batteries. Plug one in this way and the other in this way. Oh god. Everything's fine. Now I take our multimeter. Positive, negative, 50.4 volts. That's right. Alright, now we're going to plug in the PDB with the regulators that we don't know anything about. Alright, so it didn't blow up. That's a good sign. So what I'm thinking for mounting is that I'll just use 2 straps and like actually just put them both on like that. This machine is just so wide, it'll fit fine, honestly. Actually, will this even fit? It's only 1 strap. Oh my gosh, it will. Look at that. Look at this. Bam! Thing's a monster. 12S pack dangling out the bottom. Okay, we are ready for our 12S Maiden. I'm just going to do a little bit of hovering, a little bit of gentle flying right here, and then we're going to take it somewhere where it's a little bit less scarier. Like I'm kind of worried about running it right here, but I just want to make sure it gets off the ground, it doesn't blow up on the first plug-in, etc. Before we navigate somewhere else. So let's give this a go. Alright, here goes first plug-in on 12S. Oh god. Oh god. Everything came on and initialized. That was a big pop though. Holy crap. Alright, here we go. 12S main flight. I'd be lying if I said the motors weren't a little warm, but I think that this is overpropped, which, you know, is what it is. But they're not warm at all, really. ESC's nice and cool. So maybe we want to go down to 6S, but I gotta go fly it at 7-inch first, because that thing has got some huge. Okay, we switched over to the local high school. It's just across the street from my house. I preemptively decided to prop down to 6-inch, so these are 6-inch props instead of 7, just because of the temperature and the motors. Like, I figure, let's not kill it on the first flight. I hate that attitude, but I really I want it to last more than one. So we're gonna do it on 6S. Yeah, so let's just get this bad boy in the air. I'm so stoked. Let her rip a little bit. It's a weird sound. I even made this whole crazy little contraption for you guys, so you can see some stick inputs. Okay, scary pop. Oh wait, I've got to put the flight battery on first. GoPro roll. Back up really quickly. Here we go. Oh no! I put 2 props on backwards. Are you kidding me? I doubt I don't have a prop tool here either. Scheiße. Alright, I guess we're gonna run back home and get a prop tool. Shoot. Rookie mistake. I was too excited. Yep. This one's going that way, that one's going that way. Dumb. Okay, we're back. Stupid Paul. So I don't really expect there to be any failures on this, except for maybe like wire, because like the ESCs are supposed to go up to like 120, 140 amps at like, I think they could go up to like 90 volts or something. No, not quite 90. It's 14S, whatever 14S is, and like 50 something. And then the other side of that is that we're also running at a higher voltage, so we're pushing less current. So presumably we need less heat distribution and shorter wire runs and all that. And we're not actually asking for that much current, right? Compared to like an X class, which asks for, you know, to spin up a freaking, you know, 13-inch prop. We're only spinning 6 inches, and we're spinning them faster. So I don't know how the math works out on that. But either way, it's going to be exciting. Okay, big pop. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I was going to grab a neck strap too. I didn't end up doing that. Okay, a little line of sight. Oh, that sounds nuts. Okay, what's some FPV? Do a speed run while we've got the battery nice and... Are you kidding me? It's actually on rails, to be honest. It's there's a little bit less, like you're like waiting for a turbo to spin up. It's really weird. Honestly, this thing flies phenomenal. I think I have hypersmooth on the GoPro, unfortunately, but like there's no jitters or anything like that. I'm gonna do another speed run. Half throttle. Full. Oh shit. That is nuts. I don't know what the battery situation is like, but it's been 3 minutes, 13 that it's been on, so I should probably bring it in. What in the world? Okay, motor temperature. Motor temp is warm, but not absurd. ESC's not even warm. Props are all still on. That is a very, very good sign. Holy crap. Battery temp. Batteries are a little warm. Cable temp. Connector is not hot at all, which is nice, like the XT60 here. First test, absolutely insane. Did you hear that sound? Just, it's gone. Oh, I wish I had a few more batteries with me, but I only brought the one set. Oh my gosh. That was the craziest sound. So that was just 6-inch. Now what happens if we bump it to 7? Or is that gonna be too much prop? I don't know, but holy crap. All right, well, I don't know if this is the end of the video or somewhere in the middle. See, that's weird. I gotta not forget to do that. The FPV is still on because I didn't unplug the secondary battery. Well, I don't know if this is the end of the video or not, but thanks for coming on this adventure. If we're done here, stay flying. If we're not done here, holy crap.